ultimate purpose is not survival. It's finding purpose in what you love. I'm pumped to be branching out and being like, hey, we're going to sit down and have a couple-hour podcast. Is it?
Is it, dude?
Jesus Christ.
We just like talked for 5 minutes. I'm like, is it though? I've always been inspired by this shit.
Yeah. Dude, that pizza was so greasy.
It was disgusting.
It was not disgusting.
Disgusting.
Dude, I was we went to Jackie Vincent last night. And Paige bought tickets to go see Jackie Vincent because I was being a little bitch for like a few days straight. Okay. And she's like, will you feel better now? And I was like, I mean, for sure, yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
But you could have just bought a Snickers. You didn't have to buy concert tickets.
No. You gotta go to the concert because it's the energy. You know, you get the energy out. And it's inspiring. Even in whatever your art is, like any art is inspiring. I mean, music's just.
I'm such a fan. I'm such a fangirl of Jackie Vincent too. It's like a problem.
It's funny because I'm trying to think of like where I first like came across her. I mean, I know she's like, the TikTok and like, Instagram and stuff has been like huge for her or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it was like, how Spotify has like the random, like you put in a mix or whatever and it just throws stuff out. And I think it was something on there or whatever. And I was like, who is this? And what is this? And then I saw on, what is it? The AXS. Oh yeah. Was it a channel? It wasn't a show. It was a channel.
That was like the Austin, Texas thing, right?
Yeah. And I remember seeing on there, and it was. I don't think it was Austin City Limits, but it was something showcase something or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, man, she throws. She down. Rips, dude. Yeah, she throws down. She's badass.
Yeah. I found her. So, like, I love Gary Clark Jr., and he's also from Austin, Texas. So, I think just me, like, listening to Gary Clark Jr. kind of, like, led to me finding her because they did some stuff together. Yeah. And then when I found her, I was, like, obsessed I mean, I still am obsessed, but, like, I listened to nothing but Jackie Vincent for, like, a month. I was like, it's so good.
So good.
It's so good.
So good.
And seeing her live, so...
Where was it at?
It was at Magic Bag in Ferndale,
which is awesome. That's such a fun venue,
dude. It's so small. I love it. It's so intimate. And then she literally, like, at the end of the show, so like the concert fucking ripped. I gotta say that. Like, she's a murderer, but then at the end of the concert, she's like, "Hey, I'm just gonna hang out right there." She just like sat on the stage and just like everyone just walked up to her and met her and talked to her for a minute.
It's funny, like the like she hasn't clipped that level where it's like, okay,
you need the separation.
There's gotta be like some kind of a gatekeeper or whatever. That's the funnest part. Like all the stuff that I love, like anyone's stuff, my favorite, anyone's album, any band, that gets big or whatever. Usually my favorite album is the one right before the one that broke.
Oh yeah.
I like it when they're like so close and it's like you hear all the stuff where it's like they almost have like they're figuring it out and they're so close, and then that next album it all clicks. I like it right before that. That's always my favorite because it's more raw and it's more, there's just more of this kind of frantic energy to it, I watched that have you seen that new Chili Peppers documentary?
No.
On Netflix? It's My Brother Hillel. So it's about the beginning of the band with the original guitar player and the original drummer, and how they all actually started as a band. And their first albums are just so chaotic, and it's such a different band than what they are now.
Yeah.
But those are the ones. Those are my favorite ones. Like Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic, easily their biggest album, massive album. And it's a perfect album, cover to cover. It's awesome. But Mother's Milk, the one right before, is my favorite.
Yeah.
Because there's still like the tinge of that old stuff. And there's some of the new stuff where you can see they're right there at the door. So I like it right before they break, right before they totally put all the pieces together.
Yeah,
is usually my favorite stuff that a band has.
I'm trying to think of like any other bands that, like Tool's Undertow album.
Yeah,
I absolutely love, but that's kind of like before they got into their sacred geometry.
After that, bullshit. I'm kind of done. I check out. Yeah, I'm definitely the same thing with that. I mean, Rage Against the Machine. Like first two albums.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, to me, their first album is still the best album. One. By far. Even like Korn. I'm not a huge Korn guy by any means, but the first two albums,
amazing.
Those are amazing albums.
Yeah.
After that, okay.
Yeah,
I get it. And it's, and some bands just, an artist, you have to evolve. That's the whole thing. But it's like sometimes they evolve so far away from the thing that is what made you love them. You're like, I still want to support you, but man, you're moons away from.
Dude, this is different than music, obviously, but like that's how I feel about like the Sheldon character in Big Bang Theory.
Okay, yeah.
It's like over time he like softens up and becomes this like more palatable version of himself.
Right.
Where it was like, hey, the thing that was fun about you was that you were such a cunt.
Right. Yeah.
And then like you soften up over time, and then you know what I mean. So. Yeah, for sure.
It's like that character development. You got to have some. I mean, I see the aspect of you have to go somewhere with it.
Yeah.
Because you do risk the chance of people are just burnt out on it. If it's just the one trick pony, then it's like, okay. But when they just keep going and keep going and keep going, and then you're like, okay, this is completely a whole separate entity than what started out with. But
oh man, like the characters of that show in the last season versus the very first season, like there's character development. I get it. Like like
there's got to be
like Raj has like gotten over his fear of women and like inability to speak to women, and Howard's not a creep anymore. He becomes like this family man. Like that's cool, but also, man, it's so vastly different. You took dweebs and you turned them into regular people, and it was like, you kind of lost the flavor there.
When it comes with like going to, I mean, especially like scripted shows like that, it's I wonder if they're really just they build their audience, and it's like as the audience gets older, they're trying to follow the audience. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if those, because I'm sure like when Big Bang first came out, they're all younger. So I'm sure the audience kind of gravitated was a little bit younger, you know, and then as they get older and they're having families and blah, 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 it's kind of in line with the people that are watching the show.
So you're 25, you start watching the show.
Yeah. By the time you're I love Star Wars and I just had 2 kids and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, now it's not really escapism, where you're finding this other thing, you're just like, that could be me.
Right. This is just parallel with regular life.
Yeah. So,
dude, I do love that show. I like, as much as people hate on it or like
never watched
any
it.
Sitcom at all. Dude, it's a great show. It's a great show.
Never watched it.
It's solid for a sitcom. Like it might be the last like sitcom with a laugh track that's like good.
That's decent.
Yeah. Might be the last one of that world. Like sitcoms are kind of dead.
Oh, they're for sure. I mean, a regular scripted, like what is it? Like a 3 cameras, is that what they call it? I mean, they're not, and if they're out there, no one's
watching
it. No one's. I mean, you're getting such a small piece of the pie now. But I mean, there's just so much to. There's so much to go through and choose from, and any of the network stuff. It's like, man, you guys aren't trying to update your formulas at all. You're like, this is just going to keep working for another 50 years.
Dude,
it's like,
I
don't think so.
People watch them though. I don't get like the NCIS, the CSIs.
I will say
all
this.
Those shows.
So my mom and stepdad, they live down in Florida, right? And she just came up last week. And her day consisted of getting up, turning on the channel, whatever is her like favorite thing, she watches her stories, she watches it, and whatever's just on that channel throughout the day, she just watches. She just turns that channel on and that's it. And she just sits there and she just watches it and hangs out.
Weird.
And I'm like, this is, it's almost like background noise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just filler. Like, and I thought that was really,
that's how I feel about the Pat McAfee show that's on ESPN every day at like 11.
Yeah.
It's like no one's actually watching this because they have to. It's just because it's on at bars.
Do you want to know when I see it? At the gym where there's no volume to it whatsoever. That's the only time I ever see it. If I'm like on, a treadmill, elliptical or something like that. We
live different lives because when it's on, I'm at the bar at lunchtime.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't do the lunchtime bar anymore. I get too sleepy. I get too tired.
Oh yeah.
I can't do it anymore, man. Dude. I've had some buddies that are, every day it's like, it's lunchtime. I'm going to grab a beer or two and a burger or whatever. Yeah. And then I'm going to go back and, do some concrete work. And I'm like, you are insane. Like there's no fucking way.
Dude, I tell you what,
to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you what, like I used to love like slamming like 4 at lunch, just like bam, 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 in 45 minutes and then go back to work just feeling great. And I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I don't know if it's just me aging out of it or
it is.
Well, but I'm also on like a GLP-1, like Zepbound or Ozempic or whatever for people that don't know all of them. But so like I feel like there's since I've been on this drug, I just like have no appetite for shit that's bad for me. Like
I mean that's good.
It's weird. Like I used to love sweets and I used to love getting drunk and I kind of don't care about either of them.
I've heard anymore. That it's not just like an appetite suppressant, that it is like it kind of affects your bad habit, like your thought process of it or whatever, your desire for it or something, whatever it is, that it kind of does help with some of that other stuff too, where it's like, I just don't have the cravings of whatever, not just food.
Yeah. Even if I have the desire to go have a drink, it's like I have half a beer. Yeah. And I'm like, that satisfied the craving. Versus like, 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh, let's have a drink. I'm going to have 7 beers.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's like,
because I got to have something to drink in between the shots. So I'm going to, I got to have something that's just keeping me hydrated between the tequila and the Jameson, because you always mix them real well, So also give me some beers in between. Yeah, I drink way less now, way less. And it's kind of funny because when I first started doing stand-up, I think my wife thought that, going out to the bar, like I was just going back out to like party more. Yeah. And it's, I maybe have a drink, if I go out and do anything, it's like a beer or a drink, maybe 2, but that's it. Other than that, I'm like, I'm good, man. Yeah. I got, I'm out of there.
Dude, when I did my 101 showcase at Mark Ridley's, so like that stage is in wow, I'm drawing a blank. Fucking hungover brain. It's intimidating as fuck, that stage. And so,
it is. It's wild because it's I mean, for one, all the people that have been on that stage.
Oh, the history of it. It's like,
and that's a tall stage. Yeah. You're up high on that stage. I mean, as far as clubs go, like you're very tall. You're very high above everyone.
Yeah.
There. And there is something about that.
Yeah, like, it feels different.
There is no way to not have you be the absolute and total focal point.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's what it's designed for, obviously. But, if you're doing like a bar gig or even, a club that's smaller where the stage is
6 inches tall.
Yeah, you're a foot off the ground, maybe, there's something else where it's your, like almost in the crowd, you're kind of together to where at Ridley's, you definitely feel separated from the crowd.
Oh yeah.
You're there to entertain them.
Yeah.
And you better be good at it.
Yeah, dude, better have your shit together. I was scared. And I went through my Ozempic, like I have like the 5 minutes about Ozempic being on GLP-1 or whatever. And so I did that bit and Jesus Christ, like I had done that set like I don't want to make up a number, but like something probably like 25 times before I did the showcase. Yeah. So I felt like I should be pretty comfortable doing that set. I looked at my notes, like I could not stop going back to the stool going, like, fuck, what's next? And I also fucked up and I drank like a double of, like I had like Fireball and Coke And
my God.
Yeah.
My God.
The bartender said
fucking spring break.
The bartender said the same thing. She's like, "Are you sure that's what you want?" And then I also got a beer, and I was like, "All right, like I'm feeling I'm a little saucy," but I was so nervous I needed to.
Yeah.
Like I was like looking at my heart rate on my watch, going like 160.
Yeah.
And I'm just standing in the back.
That the first time you get on that stage is definitely intimidating, without a doubt. But Bill's the man. Bill's awesome. You know, as far as going through and anyone to. I like Bill because Bill's straight to the point. Like there's no really.
He pulls no punches.
No, he's going to tell you what's up. He's going to tell you what's good, what's bad, what you need to work on. Yeah. He's going to be straightforward with you. And he's awesome for that. And he's not like a dick or anything. He's very supportive.
He's helpful
he's
in that way.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just there's no why dick around with it.
I was just talking about this on another episode where like while I was in the 101 class, when the guy gets up, he runs through a set, and like the guy's 50 words into one joke, and he's like, stop.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is it taking you this long to get to the point? You could have just been A to B, and instead we're taking like the scenic route where we're looking at the lake houses. It's taking a half hour to get there. Just say the joke. Stop with all the fluff, and you're trying to soften it all up.
Yeah.
Get to the point. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Bill is have you ever seen him perform?
No, I haven't.
He's a killer.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's just like boom, 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 just punch. He's awesome. And he's great with the crowd. If they're like getting a little unruly or something like that, he wrangles them right.
I got to see him do. I need to see him do his
He's
set.
great.
Yeah.
He's great. It's worth going because that also it kind of helps make more sense of what he says, like through you get his view of it, when you see him perform.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, the stuff that he's saying, he's not just regurgitating some whatever, bullshit out of a comedy book or something like, he's telling you from experience, and he's showing you, you can see like how it works and how his brain works with it. But yeah, he's great. He's definitely worth going to see.
Yeah. I could see it too. I mean, just being in his class, his punch-ups would be funnier than what people wrote.
Yeah.
Like they're going up on stage like, I've been working on this for like 4 months.
Yeah.
And they run through the bit, and then he just throws in a
boom,
tag,
boom, boom.
and the tag is way funnier.
Yeah. And you're like,
like,
damn it!
I'm like, oh shit! Like, can I keep that or no?
Yeah. It's he is very good at that. Yeah. He hears it and it just clicks real fast for him.
Dude, fucking Floyd. I had Floyd Jones on, and he goes, dude, when you do your showcase, you gotta talk about Bill. I'm like, what am I gonna say about Bill? He's like, you just bring up that his name is Bush and Shart. I'm like, you're an idiot, dude. I'm not doing that. Oh, it's so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so fun doing the. Have you done an open mic there yet?
I've not done an open mic. I've been calling in with avails, but there's a million people that want to be on that stage. So.
And Southeast Michigan's trying to get on it.
Yeah,
so it's tough, but they've got a lot coming up, so that's good. They're kind of pumping them up.
Dude, Kate just did fucking whatever. A tell.
Yeah.
What?
Well, like last night, I did a mic in Ferndale, and Noah Chapp was there, so Noah got to guest spot on Thursday and Friday, and then
with a tell.
Yeah, I mean, he gave out. I mean, he was, really generous when it comes to like guest spots in local comics. I mean, Noah had to. Do you know Noah Chapp?
I don't know Noah.
Oh, buddy, you need to make sure you see Noah. He's an unbelievable joke writer and very unique. No one else is like Noah. But yeah, he let him do a couple guest spots. Nicole Melnick got to do guest spot.
Dude, I just saw that. I didn't know Nicole was in that at all. And I was like, what?
Yeah, she's a killer.
She's playing the Magic Bag coming up. It's funny, full circle there. She's got she's got a show with like 6 other people or something at the Magic Bag.
She hustles. Nicole's awesome. She runs a couple mics a week, Monday and Tuesdays. I mean, she does a bunch of stuff, and she's super, super funny. She's an awesome host. Yeah, she's grinding it out. She puts the work in. But yeah, then there was a couple other people, that he had on there too. But yeah, it's it sucks. I would have liked to have gone, but I was deathly ill. Yeah. It was also anniversary weekend, so
yeah. You know. I wanted to go to see Kate, and I just couldn't. I mean, it couldn't. I'm so busy.
Kate's the comedy mom. You know, I mean, she's the most supportive person.
Yeah, she's the best.
I mean, she's all gung ho, always trying to, you know, support and promote other people, and she's
comedy mom's perfect.
It is. It's comedy. Yeah. She's every time it's someone's birthday, she's showing up with like a cake and stuff. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many birthday cakes I've had because Kate showed up to an open mic or a show or something and has a birthday cake for someone. So yeah, no, she's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that she deserved to definitely, you know, be up there and host the.
Dude, I submitted to do one of Nicole's shows out in
Max.
I think it was at Max. Yeah. I think the one I was signed up for was Max. But so I submitted for it, and I don't think she ever told me I was on it. And then which I don't know if she. I mean, I don't know if she does normally, but I had no idea.
Yeah, what they do, they at the beginning of the month or the end of the previous month, whatever, they put a post out and it says all 4 weeks of the next month who's on the lineup.
Yeah.
I feel like they messaged though.
I thought she was gonna message. So she messaged me.
I know Rio does it a lot because it's her, Rio, and Darius. So there's 3 people that run that mic. I think Rio a lot of times sends out the messages for the lineups or whatever, but
so she messaged me in the group chat with everyone that was in the lineup. Right. I had no idea I was going to be on at like 9:40 and showtime's like 10 o'clock, and I was like, "What? I can't." Yeah. I'm more that like I might be able to get there by the end of the show if I leave right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I had no idea. She's like, you submitted for this. I was like, oh my bad, dude. Yeah. I had no idea I was on, and then. She's like, it's all good. Like, no worry. Like, don't worry about it. I was like, I feel like a piece of shit because I'm not that guy at all. Yeah. You know, like I'm like, whenever I'm like on the one night stand showcase, I'm there like at 6:15. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that guy. And then, so me and her started texting, and she's like, so I was like, well, come do the podcast. Like, for sure. She's got a podcast. I got a podcast. Yeah. Like, we should cross promote.
Right.
And so she's like, yeah, for sure. So I scheduled her. And then she was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I got a show on the day we were supposed to do the podcast. I was like, hey, that's what we do this for.
Yeah.
Don't worry about canceling a podcast to go do a show. Go do your fucking show. And then I was like, let's reschedule for this day or whatever day worked for us both for our schedules. And we figured out a day. And then so she rescheduled, and then she texted me the day of. She's like, I'm such a piece of shit. I was like, Nicole, I missed one mic. Yeah, all right? Yeah. You're punishing me for you motherfucker. All right, you missed one. I get it. I missed one, you missed one, we're even. But now you're just fucking with me. Yeah. I'm like, you're getting me back, huh? She's like, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. I swear to God. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, she's a hustler.
I know the game you're playing.
She's a hustler for sure. I mean, she's always jumping on. Yeah, she works about as much as anyone else I know of. She's always on something.
Yeah, that's high praise coming from you, because I've talked about if there's anyone that's gonna like just strong arm their way to success in comedy, it's you. Like, you work your ass off.
I mean, I do, but there's there's so much of it too that's like. Networking is not my strong suit, you know, and only because I don't have the time to like go and hang out and do all that stuff. You know, like so many clubs are, you know, when people have like their home club where they're performing all the time there, you know, it's usually because whether they're on a show or not, they're there anyway.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
And they're hanging out all the time. It's like, I would love to do that, but I can't. You know, I got kids and I'm just not willing to be like, well, you know,
dude,
we had a good 8 years. You guys can figure it out from here. I don't know, man. You know, so
I always pull this out. It's like, this is just like, I mean, there's like 5 or 6 events every single day in my schedule. I can't hang.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
I have a hard time making time for like my best friends. Like, you know what I mean? So like,
well, that's funny you say it. So like tonight, you know, after I leave here or whatever, it's a buddy of mine's birthday, you know, and he's having a bunch of people over, and he sent me this text and he's like, I don't ever see you anymore. He's like, come hang out. Like it's my birthday and I just want to see my goddamn friends, you know? And it's like, we're all busy with kids and stuff. And I've, now that I'm doing, this, it's just like an obsession. So it's like, if I have free time, that's what I'm doing.
Right.
It's like, I don't want to do, any way that I can get out of the house where I can justify it and feel okay about it. Like I want that time to be comedy,
Right.
And, so, I was like, dude, I'm there, I'm there. I'm sorry. But it just gets hard, man. It's time consuming. And it's funny because, someone, you got, how many kids you got?
3.
You got 3 kids, right? So, I mean, we kind of have the one up on, we have more experiences. So we got a lot more stuff to draw from to write about,
for sure.
But the opposite end is we don't have I can go and hit the stage every single night, you know? So it's that hard figuring out what works or whatever. And
dude, nothing makes you prioritize like comedy does. Like if you care about it, all of a sudden you're like, I don't give a fuck about this thing that you're trying to make me do. I don't like like I have to cut the fat so efficiently between working, like I work overtime.
Sure.
So I'm working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. And then I also have the podcast and I also have comedy, but I also have all the editing and the writing that comes along with the podcast and comedy.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude,
to cram it all in.
When I'm editing the podcast, that feels like I'm taking a little break.
Right.
I'm like, okay, cool. I can sit at the computer for 2 hours and edit a podcast.
Right.
But
your brain's still just going.
I'm still working.
You're still like working on something. Yeah. Yeah. So there's never like that full, just like, that's why, I'll watch podcasts at night because for the most part, I'm not even paying attention. You know what I mean? I'm just like staring at it. And my wife's like, what are you thinking about? And I'm like, absolutely nothing. She's like, there's no way that that's possible. I'm like, oh, it is.
When your brain is completely exhausted.
Yeah, there is nothing in there right now.
Dude.
Listen, the mouse on the wheel, that thing's dead and the body's rotting next to the wheel. Like I'm just staring at a screen for nothing.
Paige has called me out for this a million different ways, but I'll get burnt out because my brain is going like on real long days. I'll like work 10 hours, then maybe we have an hour in between getting home from work and doing a podcast.
Right.
And then I'm talking for 2 or 3 hours during the podcast. And then we get home and I'm like, and she'll just ask me a regular like logistics question. Like, hey, what are we going to do for Elias's birthday? And I'm like, no. Like, don't like fucking, no, I don't even, because I'm going to be a dick. I'm like,
I can't right now.
I cannot problem solve right now. I cannot problem solve. I can't do it.
Yeah.
My brain is so done. I've been fucking like working all day and like I have a hard job, but also I have a hard job and I'm teaching an apprentice. So like there's an extra layer of how difficult it is. And then I drive home and then I do a podcast where I'm trying to be locked in and entertaining and like, you know, and then when that's over, you're going to ask me to problem solve. No, dude.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. I definitely feel like I'm getting dumber easily. Like the other day, I like my brain's just, it doesn't like want to hold you like retain focus or or like for me, the other day I got up and I went and I was going to go, there were some dishes in the sink. So I'm going to clean some dishes. So I turn the water on, waiting for it to get hot or whatever. And I go into the living room and all of a sudden I noticed that I'm just sitting on the couch watching TV and I turn around and the water's just going. And I was like, how long have I been sitting here? I didn't even realize what the hell's going on. I was just like, man, yeah, it's, and now I got, my kid, he does baseball right now and he does flag football and they're already doing signups for tackle football in the fall. And I am an assistant coach. I did not sign up to be an assistant coach.
Dude, that's how they get you. They're just like, we need help.
Well, he was, so the head coach is my kid's best friend's dad.
Okay.
Super nice guy. He's awesome. Awesome dude. And, tell
me how you really feel off, Mike.
Yeah, no, he is. He's a good dude. But I did not volunteer. No, so there's so many kids that want to play tackle football. They got multiple teams, and all for the school. And so they do a draft. They do a combine, which that's fucking insane to do a combine for like 9 and 10-year-olds. Yeah. They legit, they're out like doing the 40, they're running drills, they're doing all this stuff.
For like a Pop Warner league?
It's insane. And the coaches, these guys are out there, they're writing notes, I'm like, what the? Anyway, so they go through and he basically was like, hey, I'm going to put you on my coaching staff because then I automatically get your kid. I don't have to go through and do the draft because they're best friends. We wanted them to be. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. And it wasn't, hey, if you are an assistant coach, he was like, hey man, so you're on my coaching staff. And I'm like, wait, what? So I'm not a football guy. So I don't watch football. I don't pay attention to football at all. I'm like, dude, I don't know. And he was like a coach in Texas, like, he's a legit football guy. Dude. Yeah. And I'm like, I can sit there and make fun of the kids, dude. Like, what do you, he's like, no. He's like, do what you can. You can be the fun coach. I'm going to be the one yelling at him.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I can handle that. But then I think about that. I'm like, oh man, they practice 5 days a week. I'm not going to practice 5 days a week. Like, you know what I mean?
How old is your kid? Your kid is 9?
He's 9. Okay. So he'll be 10 in October. So he's 9 years old. And that's not the whole season. But from like the end of July through August, they're doing like 5 days a week. 5 days a week. It's insane. Yeah. And a combine. And they're going to have another one. So they do the combine, right? And yesterday we went and he got fitted for all of his pads. So then they're going to have another combine with their pads on and do it all over again. But I'm like, but the team's already picked.
Yeah.
Why are you doing another combine?
Seeing who it affects most.
Seeing who it affects and positions. I'm like, isn't that what practice is for? Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I just think it slows insane. Down or who can't catch a ball with a helmet on. Yeah. That kind of thing.
But, it's like, well, even if you're doing that now, they still don't start. No matter what, they don't start practice until the end of July. Yeah. So, I don't know. Out of my realm. Yeah. Above my pay grade. I don't know.
See, this is the thing like I've been talking about with Paige because my 3 kids all do soccer and they all do either baseball or softball. Yeah. And I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate it.
It's hard.
Dude, and Paige is like, well, you're going to miss it when it's not happening anymore. And I probably will, but the thing is that all of these sports families, that's the only thing they do outside of their day jobs.
It's their whole life.
They don't do anything else.
The traveling teams, when their kids get into the traveling stuff and they're going out of state or just even out of town every single weekend. Yeah. And the hotels, the eating out, plus any of those traveling teams are insanely expensive.
Right.
And it's, and I don't know. I get it. You want your kid to be good. I understand that. Yeah. Right. But you can't buy talent. You know what I mean? Right. They either have it or they don't. See, I feel like there's so many people because now they've changed the rules where, it used to be if you were a college kid, you could not get money. You could not receive anything. When you were playing sports for a college, you could not receive any kind of sponsorship. Any endorsements, any of that. Couldn't get any of that. They changed it. Now college kids,
there's millions of dollars getting flown around.
What's crazy is now high school kids are getting it.
High school kids are
getting endorsements. So we
from colleges or from like apparel companies.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So we went to. My wife has a real good friend, and we were over at their place, and a friend of theirs, he's a sports agent. That's what he does. And he's like, the business is so different now, so insane. Like the first thing, any college kid, recruit, high school, what do I get?
Yeah.
What do you got? What are you bringing to the table?
Right.
Like, great that you have a good program. What are you giving me?
Right.
And he's like, there's college kids or high school kids that are making like up to $300,000 for like endorsement deals. They're like, dude, you're handing a 17, 18-year-old $300K. You think they're going to make some wise investments with that money? He's like, fuck no, they're buying like,
cars and
Mercedes. Yeah. They're G-Wagons and stuff. He's like, they're spending money on stupid shit. And it's like, if the schools, especially like the private schools, high schools, that the kids are going there because of sports, that's the main reason. It's like, okay, they should probably get some help of something. If the school's making money off the kids, they should get something because they're the reason. I do get that, but like I feel like an outside company doing sponsors or endorsement deals with kids is a little extreme for high school. Yeah. College, I get it. It's way more business. It's way more big business. But
I wonder if this is based on like just merit or if it's also if those kids have a following. Because if there's some like,
I think it's
badass.
I think all player. That. I think it's all that stuff now.
Yeah.
All of it kind of comes in. Like, is this kid? Obviously they got to be super talented at whatever sport they're playing.
Yeah.
But can they do an interview? Can they talk on camera? Can they?
Are they creating content?
Yeah. Do they engage? Already. Yeah. I'm sure all that stuff plays into it.
Yeah.
And it's a big gamble for any of these companies, but. If they lock some kid in at 17 and then all of a sudden he's the next LeBron,
right?
They're going to make $1 bajillion,
right?
So they're like, yeah, $300K at 18. Okay.
Right.
A couple $1 million in college. Okay. Whatever. We just made, $500 million off of selling his jersey for the next 20 years or whatever it is.
Are they locking these kids in for long times?
I don't know. When he was taught, so the way he was explaining it was like, is that they would go through. So basically the colleges are recruiting these high school kids and the colleges are investing money in the high school kids. They can get like whatever endorsement deals from other companies and whatever, but the colleges are putting money into them and it's more or less for like the training, like off-season training. And they said that there's he was talking about this facility, this specific facility that I think he says in Arizona or New Mexico or something like that. And so they go for the 2 months during summer, where they wouldn't really be doing anything because they're not in college, they got that time off and they're doing this specific training program for like college athletes. They're getting them ready for the NFL. And just that program, just to do those 2 months is like $100K. Just for them to do a training. It's just 2 months of training, but it's super specialized, whatever. So now like a big thing with these kids are you going to pay for the off-season training, I know you're going to train me during the school year,
right?
But what about when I'm not in school?
Yeah.
You want me to be good or not? So it's like just this wild stuff where they're just throwing cash at these kids,
Yeah.
And he this guy who's a sports agent, he's like, it's so difficult to get anyone to sign because as soon as you here's the offer, they're just taking that offer
and getting it
and walking to someone else and going, this is what he said.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, well, we'll give you $50,000 more. Cool. Hey, this is what they, and it's just this constant battle. And he's like, now their expectation is so high. It's like, you're not a professional athlete yet.
Yeah.
Like you're not there yet. You could go and blow out your knee in the next game and be 18 years old. And guess what? Hope you want to be a vet or, or like, hope you're going to be an engineer or something like that. Cause your sports career is over, So, I mean, it's just this huge gamble of money on these kids. And I'm sorry, but 17, 18, getting that chunk of money, you then at that point have no idea what money represents. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have no actual, you don't know what earning anything really is at that point. You're like, yeah, I was super good in high school and I started making 3 times what my parents make.
Right. And they're like, why is my dad an idiot?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, why does he work that hard for that little?
Yeah. Kids are going to be like, I could pay off your mortgage, but instead I'm just going to buy my own place. So, see you later.
Right.
It's just, it's crazy.
It is fucking
It's crazy.
wild.
And like all these, I feel like that's what the travel league stuff kind of is pushing. It's all the parents that are like, I'm going to spend the money now because it's going to pay off later. You know, kid's going to become a pro. He's going to pay all the bills later. I'm going to do it now. You know, it's like, whoo, boy, that is, you are really rolling the dice.
That life is for parents that don't have anything going on in their life.
The former athletes that didn't make it, they're like, I got to live it through you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, and I'll invest, you know, I got a decent job, so I'll put all the money in just so I can be around it.
And some of the skill, I know every sport, there's skill to it, but they're like basketball and football. I feel like if you're just a monster athlete, you're going to be better off than someone who's got amazing skill.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But like for baseball and hockey, where they're more skill based, you know, like where you're doing all these camps, you're doing all these.
Well, not only that, but
I mean, the amount of shit you have to do to be a semi-competitive rec league baseball player is insane.
And it's really like specialized the training for each position. You're not getting trained the same, you know, you're on a football team. Every player is getting some kind of a different
program.
You know, you got, defense, offense, special team, all that stuff. And excuse me, each position within, they're all getting this different stuff. So it's like, okay, you start doing that at, kids 9 or 10, and you're training them to be a catcher, okay, well, what if at, 16, the kid's knees are blown out because he's been, doing all these weird training things for being a catcher,
right?
It's just like, I don't know. And it's so much pressure on the kids, I mean, the parents that are just like that push. It's like, man, you see these kids and it's like, they end up missing out on other stuff, and they don't even get the opportunity.
They miss out on having a childhood a lot of times.
They don't even really know. It's like, ooh, I showed my parents that I liked this one thing once, and now everything's all in on it. It's like, could be an amazing painter,
right?
Or something else that's like completely different that you don't know. So I mean, when we my kid did baseball in the fall. That was the first time he did baseball, and he was all right, for first time playing, he did all right. And, the travel coach was like, oh, you should check out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you are out of your, this is the first time he's played. I don't even know if he likes this or not,
Right.
And he's liking it more now and he's into it more now. But still, me and my wife have talked about it. And it's like, to invest that much time and effort, there's got to be a real, to me, there's got to be a real proven thing that I don't mess with, that he has to show me. Like, that's what he wants to do. I'm not going to push him to do it.
I'm in exact same boat.
Yeah.
My son, my oldest, was crying about wanting to join the travel soccer team. And I go, I have never seen you jog.
Yeah.
I've never seen you drill at home. I've never seen you do anything beyond what your rec league practice demands you do.
Right.
I'm not paying thousands of dollars for you to play on a team, and I'm not traveling every weekend. I'm not traveling. I'm missing work. I'm not doing that for something that you kind of want to do. If you were obsessed, like Steve Jobs obsessed, the only thing you did was study tape and drill, and you're fucking working on these different drills in the yard all the time. You're jogging in the off season. You're doing fucking sit-ups in your bedroom. Then I would do it.
Yeah.
But you kind of want to do it.
Yeah. You're into it because it's fun. It's not a calling. It's like,
if this was like your soul needs to do this, then yes, we would do
all
it.
in.
But we're not fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And then so we sign them up. We sign all three of them up for the rec league, and the 13U rec league, or 14U, whatever the fuck he's on. There's games 55 miles away. I'm like, this is the rec league.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is bullshit. Like if you join the travel league, we're going to Indiana and Illinois to watch you kind of trot around playing soccer. I'm like, dude, you gotta. If you're going to do this, you need to be trying.
Yeah.
And he's like, I mean, I don't want to hate on him, but I know what it looks like when you're running like you're angry at the ground, and when you're running to just because you have to run.
Because you got to get through it.
Because you have to fucking jog to the ball when it's near you. And he's doing that shit a lot. So I'm like, you don't care about this the way you think you do.
There's got to be that, there's got to be that drive that you're like, it's not you don't learn it. You know,
right?
You have it or you don't.
Right.
You know,
dude. When I was a kid and I started playing the drums, it was like I started on a pair of bongos because of a fucking kid show. Out of the box, and but then my parents bought me drums and I was obsessed. It was the only thing that existed. I would listen to music and I would fucking write out tabs for songs. I would read Joe Bonham fucking books and I like studied Neil Peart's fucking tapes. You know what I mean? Like I was, and I'm like, you're talking an 8-year-old kid doing this. It's not, you know what I mean? Like I was fucking obsessed. I was doing rudiments on my lap all day, every day. I'd get in trouble. In class. Stop, man. Stop like, tapping.
There's definitely something wrong with them.
It was like full, like the obsession was insane. You know what I mean? And I don't need the kids to like have an obsession that's so like problematic. But like if I'm going to spend all this time and money when I don't have any time, I mean, you got to really fucking show me that this is something you have to do.
You got to have the drive for it.
Yeah.
You got to have the drive for it. Like, I mean, my kid, he loves it. I think he loves more of like the team aspect. He loves being on a team. You know, he likes being there with all his friends. But he does, I mean, he is pretty obsessive about football, not baseball as much. He's getting more into it. But I mean, it's nonstop. Let's play catch. You know, he's always got a football. You know, he's always throwing it up and catching it and all that stuff. But I'm like, he's like, I want to, you know, be a wide receiver. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, brother, you are slow. You gotta do some running, man. You gotta get out there and do it. You know, and you know, so it's kind of like he's right there of. It's like if he really develops that more, and that's what I'm kind of curious about too. Is now this is the first year that he's going to do tackle. So it's like, this is a different animal. You know, he's done flag for a few years now. And he understands the game, but it's like, okay, you know how the game works, but now, you know, there's a new element where you're going to get smoked at some point. You know, are you going to like that? Right. Or are you going to be like, oh, extreme pain is also involved in this? And I was like, dude, when practice comes and it's August and it's 100 degrees out and you're doing 5 days a week,
2 days
with full pads and gear and everything, that's gonna test you. You know, it's really gonna test you. And he has no reference for it, so it's like he doesn't know yet. So I mean, that'll be something that'll, you know, okay, well, do you like that? Because the thing is whatever you want to be good at, you have to love the shittiest part of it.
Yeah.
If you love the shittiest part of whatever the thing is, you're going to end up being pretty good at it. Right. You know, everyone likes the good parts of stuff.
Right.
If you love doing the shitty parts, if you like going to an open mic where there's 4 comics there and no one's listening to you and you're just speaking into the abyss, you know, and you drove an hour and a half to get there, you know, if you love that, then, you know, you might end up getting somewhere or doing something. But yeah, if you only have fun at the good parts, it's like you're not
gonna go far.
No, you're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah, or I don't know if it's like you need to enjoy it necessarily, but that's like the expensive part of the fun. You know what I mean? Like when you suffer, you go through the suffering, but it makes the payoff that much sweeter.
You got to pay the toll.
I think that's
it's a troll toll.
Yeah,
you got to pay the troll toll.
Yeah,
it's it's just part of it, you know. I mean, I don't know. It's funny, like when you know, with him, he watches, and this is like a big thing too, is like, you know, all these sports, they're not just going and watching highlight reels anymore. They're watching all the other content, because all the pro athletes are doing content too. You know, they're doing video games, you know, they're on Twitch or whatever, you know, they're doing all this other stuff. And it's like, they see that, and, you know, and that is almost kind of like, I feel like it plays into it. Like they think that's what it is too. Oh, sweet, these guys are professional athletes. And then when they're not on the field, they get to play video games and they get to, and it's like, very rarely do you, at least that I've seen, is it like showing them in the, you know, the depths of the training where they're just, you know,
miserable,
getting their ass kicked. Yeah. And it's like, that's why they're good.
Yeah.
They're not good because they have the contracts for $50 million. Right. And, they bought everyone in their family a house and
right.
Yeah. I don't feel like they show enough of
it's not the $1 million car. That is the thing. The thing, like he got to do that because he suffered.
Struggle. Yeah. And I feel like they don't show enough of that struggle. So, I'm hoping he kind of realizes, I guess, what it really is when it comes down to it. And then if he's into that part and he's all about that, cool. Then it's like, okay, well now we can invest more time or more money or whatever. But
I've talked about that a few different times with people, and I'm like how do you, as an adult who's trying to pursue dreams, how do I?
What an idiot!
I know, right? Like how do you balance having kids who have things that they want to do without being
not being a shitty parent
parent, dude? It's hard.
It's very difficult. Like so what day was it? There was I don't think I've missed a baseball game yet. I've been late to a couple games, but that's because of golf, which is funny too, because like talking about time, I've played in this golf league for almost 10 years, and I love it. I love all the dudes on it. It's super fun. This year I was really like, do I want to take the time doing the golf league? That takes a night away, you know? One, my kid's got a game that night. Two, it's a Wednesday night. This club's going on.
Yeah.
If I try to get on, blah, blah, blah. And it was a real struggle on whether or not I wanted to do it. And I ended up doing it. But I kind of think too, it's like some people get so obsessed with the thing that then they're not getting any new experiences either. You know? I mean, if you're not doing regular stuff, then you're not really going to find stuff to
talk about
to make material out
of. I've seen or heard a few different comedians like talk about how they got stuck talking about the same shit. It's like the cliche about like airport jokes, because you're just like on the grind so hard that you have nothing to talk about.
That's your entire world is in an airport or on a stage and in a hotel.
Right.
It's like, man, how many, you got to give them props when someone comes up with a new one
with a
that's
good one. Yeah.
But they're pretty few and far between. I mean, really, when you break them down, they're mostly all the same joke, just packaged a little bit different.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's funny, like it's almost a little bit arrogant to say like, oh, I don't want to do it too. I got to make sure that I have material. It's like, I'm some jack off that's been doing it for 2 years.
Yeah, but you also like, I don't know, like you don't want to only put out. You know what I mean? Like you gotta experience life outside of this grind too. And like golf is a thing that I also have a hard time like prioritizing, because I love it so much, but it's like, dude, when do I have 4 hours?
Yeah.
I don't ever have 4 hours.
Yeah.
And on a weekend, well, either my kids are there.
Also, let's be honest, when it comes to golf, especially if you play on the weekend, it's not just the 4 hours of being there, because you're going to have drinks.
Right.
So you're not going to be productive after you're done with that round either. You're going to be like, it is time for some barbecue, and I'm probably going to keep drinking. I mean, it's
the whole day.
It's a whole day. That day's, doing a league, you're not playing a full, it's a couple, well, it's still like 3 hours though. And
you play 9 on the week?
Yeah.
On the weekdays. Yeah.
And that's all, like, I mean, last year, I don't think I ever played barely like a full actual round of golf. It was just the league. Okay, that's what I'm allowing myself to have, is that league time. And if it's, the weekends, well, if I'm lucky enough to have shows to do, I'm not going to do anything during the day. I'm going to be with the fam, do whatever during the day,
right.
And then at night. And even not, it's like the weekends, if it's not, I shouldn't really say that. I mean, usually I try not to do much on the weekends unless it's like a paying gig, like last night I did Mike's on a Friday, but it's like, okay, the weekend, try to make that guaranteed time with the fam. but
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the days go by so fast,
dude.
And the older they get, the more stuff that they do, and
the faster the time moves.
Yeah. It just keeps cruising.
The fact that my oldest is 13 is crazy to me. Like it's the weirdest thing of all time. Because like, there's still times where I think I'm like, oh yeah, like holy shit, that was 10 years ago. What the fuck? What?
Yeah.
Like I've been a dad since I was 19 years old.
Oh
so
my god, you started so young.
Oh, so dumb. So
I don't know. Well, I started late, so I was 36 when my son was born.
That's like an appropriate age to have kids.
No, I don't know. This is what I feel about it, though. When you're 30, like I got all my 20s and the first half of my 30s. My 20s were I had a lot of fun. I mean, but what a waste. What a waste of a decade. I mean, it was, just a shit show. It was tons of fun. I had a real good time, but accomplished little to nothing.
Yeah.
It was really just partying. And, now it's like, the kid wants to go out and do stuff and play and nonstop football and baseball. And let's go. Come on, let's go outside. Let's go do.
Yeah.
Man, it's harder, dude. I'm mid 40s. It's like, dude, it's hard to keep up with you, bro.
Yeah.
And in your 20s, it's so much more energy. Energy. God, I miss the energy.
I'm feeling I'm starting to feel that down slope.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh, no, you're not.
No,
you're not.
No, I'm at the very beginning of it.
No, you are not. I'm going to tell you right now. I thought I was too. You are not. Dude, I'm going to tell you right now. I thought when I hit like 33, I was like, wow, stuff's good. And then like 36, I was like, it feels a difference. Dude, I hit 43, 44, and it was like a line in the sand. And I was like, holy shit, dude. I am exhausted all of the fucking time. All of the time. No, it is a drastic drop off. It's crazy. You're still good. You just enjoy 40. Once you hit 40.
Yeah.
I feel like that can, your 40s are real. If you stay active, I mean, maybe that's a good thing too about having kids older is like, they keep me active and doing stuff and doing young, being young or whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe that definitely helps because it's funny. Like I'll see people, that are my age and I'm like, ooh, you look like you're 65.
Yeah.
Like you look rough.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people too that I'm like, still looking pretty good, still keeping it together. So,
dude,
40s can be such a drastic split on what way you can go.
There's people that are my age, like some of my friends that I grew up with. I'm like, dude, like you've been acting like a 45-year-old man for a decade. You know what I mean? Like you're, like you don't do anything. You don't go to the gym. You don't play sports. You don't play any you don't. I mean, nothing. No mountain biking, no running, no golfing, no reason to use your body. You do an office job.
Those ones.
And then when you watch them walk, you're like, oh, you can't even walk.
It's like
your body doesn't even know how to walk.
There's that much like laziness or neglect, whatever you want to call it. It's like they're winding up this spool. And they're gonna hit a certain age, and it is gonna start ripping so fast, and they're gonna age 4 times faster,
dude, you're not
than
kidding.
Other people, because they're just like, I just am inactive, and I don't push myself, and I'm just complacent, and I'm good, just sitting on the couch with Pringles, eating some kind of a dip out of my belly button. I don't fuck, I don't give a fuck. Like,
I don't see that. I don't understand. Like I look at, there's a couple of people that are coming to mind, and like I've had conversations with. I will not. But I've had conversations with Paige about it. I'm like, should I say something? Like, hey, let's do something together. Like let's get active. Hey, I signed you guys up for our softball league. Like you're fucking doing something. And she's like, no, it's like they know. It's not that they're in denial. They know that they're like fat as fuck and that they're inactive.
It gets to a point where it's undeniable.
Right.
You can be a little out of shape and be like, in the right lighting, I still got it. But there is a point where you're like, oh, this is, I am a, cinnamon roll tube that's busted. Like there's stuff just squeezing out. Like, And at that point, and that's you hit that, and that's the hardest point where you're like, I gotta bring it back.
I do wonder if these people would be more open to listening to my thoughts on it though, because I was such a fat piece of shit. Like I was 320 pounds at my heaviest.
Yeah, that's healthy.
Dude, I was a ball. I was a standing ball. I was fucking, but like, 320. Dude, 320 was my heaviest. And that's like, and me and my brother are built pretty similarly, like height wise, shoulder wise or whatever. And I think he hit like 50 pounds heavier than that at his fattest. And, but like, so like me and him have gone up and down our whole lives, but like
stairs,
as we
fucking 370 pounds, dude, you ain't going up and down shit.
But as we've gotten older, are like when we were doing this yo-yoing shit, it'd be like, okay, we're up 50 pounds, we're down 25 pounds. And then it'd be like, oh, but we're up another 50 pounds. Yeah. And then it would just kind of kept going up and up and up. And it was like, dude, we got to do something. Like, I can't do this. Like, this isn't like, oh, I'm 25 and I'm 240 pounds. This is like, whoa, hold on. I'm 25 and I'm 320 pounds. It's like, what the fuck?
It's good that you did it now. Because that is another thing. In your 40s, it is so much harder to like lose weight.
Yeah.
I was like 215 forever.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Yeah, and I'm like 230-ish now.
Fat ass.
And dude, but it's like I feel it though. Like you feel it more. The older you get, like even just a little bit, it's like, man, I've it's fucking eating. It's like it hurts to eat, and that's another thing too, is like I can't eat as much as I used to, but I still think that I'm going to, and so you just start cramming stuff in. I'm like, well, I'm used to this entire 18-inch sub. This is what I used to just dominate. So it's like now I'm trying to eat the whole, and I'm weeping at the end of it, using the bread to soak up tears, and it's just like, just stop, slow it down. But going to the gym, I mean, I've been pretty shitty the last couple months or whatnot, but I mean, I'm still going here and there, but it's way harder to like pull it back off. Like it's everything just slows.
You have a fairly active day job though, right? Am I wrong in that?
I mean, yes. So yeah, I manage a wildlife control company, but it's mostly like roofing work and like siding work and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's more construction based.
But you're managing it, so you're not.
But
you're
I'm
not
managing
on the tools.
Not as much anymore. No.
Okay.
I mean, there's still days where I'm definitely going out and doing stuff, but more of it is I'm just it's a daycare.
Yeah.
Dealing with all the employees and everything and all the customers and stuff. So it's more of that. So it's not as much, not like that used to be.
See, like this is what I like. So when we revamped the podcast, like we had like a 6-month lull where we stopped doing it because of drama. And then when we got back into it, we started it back up. I was like, all right, well, I got to do like, I want to create these like social media things that I'm going to do. And one of them was this one album, one workout thing where I was like, all right, I'm going to listen to a new album every day. And then I'm going to do a workout every day. Right. And I'll recap the album, recap the workout. And I'm just going to do that every fucking day.
Right.
Which I loved that because it like forced me to listen to new music. And then also forced me to go to the gym. Since starting stand-up, I don't want to blame stand-up, but like since starting stand-up and then the kids in sports and stuff, I'm like, I just don't give a fuck about going to the gym.
I will tell you this. Since doing stand-up, I dropped way off.
Yeah.
Way off on going to the gym. So right before I started was easily the most I had ever worked out. I was getting up. And I was going to the gym. I'd get there at 6:30 in the morning. I'd be there until 8. And then I would go work all day. And then I would go back. And I would go back in the afternoon for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hours. Like I was doing I was doing like 3 hours a day at the gym.
Yeah,
and I was lifting heavy and like I was really pushing it. And it was it was more I was unhappy at the time. I do contribute to that. I think I really was unhappy. So I was just, I don't know, trying to do something.
Yeah.
And once I started doing stand-up, I didn't care as, I don't know, not didn't care as much, but it wasn't as compulsive to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. It definitely doing stand-up can definitely change for some people it is a huge outlet, you know. I'd say probably every comic it's a huge outlet. This is a dumb sentence to say. But it just was, it just kind of was like, now it's not this thing where it's like, I got to do it. I got to grind it out. It was like, I got to do it because,
I should.
I don't want to die.
Right.
Right. It's like, I don't really like doing it. And I don't really. And now it's easier to be like, I'm going to warm up with some basketball. And then it turns into, I shot free throws for 45 minutes and now I'm going to go sit in the hot tub. Yeah. It's like, okay, it gets pretty lazy. Or, it's like, I used to go and spend, 3 hours a day. It's like, if I've got 3 hours, then I can spend 2 of them writing. Right. It's like I don't want to spend that 3 hours there anymore.
When I was in the end of my relationship with my ex, that was when I went from like going to the bar and I was like, what am I wasting all this money for? So then it turned into I'm going to go to the gym instead.
Right.
And I felt so much better going to the gym over the bar. Obviously, you're getting all these endorphins. Your body starts to look better. You start to feel better about yourself. But once I got through the end of that relationship and all the chaos that the end of that relationship brought on, I was like, I kind of just want to run because then I can run for like 40 minutes and I feel like I get as much out of it as I did going to the gym for like the entire afternoon.
Right.
And then so like running, I looked as good as I ever looked and I felt amazing running every day. I ran when me and Paige first started dating. I had like created this like 3.5 mile loop that I would do every day. So I'm running 3.5 miles every day. I felt amazing. Good. I looked good, but then I blew up. I hurt my meniscus. There was no moment. It was just like I went out for a run and I was like, this kind of feels like shit. And then I had a big swell on my leg and I couldn't run anymore. After that, gained weight back, whatever. But I enjoyed running the most out of all of the working out and shit that I ever did. The only times that I really loved going to the gym was when I needed to escape something else.
Yeah.
That was the only time
you can waste time in so many different ways.
Yeah.
I kind of was the same thing. Like I hurt my shoulder and that's when I really like stepped way back, especially from, free weights and stuff, is because there was just so much I couldn't do because my shoulder was all messed up and I had to do physical therapy and stuff. And then sometimes when that happens, man, it's so hard to get back into that groove that you were doing before.
Oh, yeah.
Because it takes forever. You got to build back up, to go through and all that. And then there's always that thing in the back of your mind of like, don't do it again.
Right.
Don't hurt yourself again. It's like, now it's like, okay, well now you're a couple years older, like now you blah, blah, blah. So it's like, you want to do it, but there's always something in the back of your head telling you washed up sack of shit. Just go get some potato chips.
Right. Well, I'm also like very goal oriented I just didn't care about gym goals. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I can bench 2 plates. Sick. Like, who gives a fuck? Or like, I've always been really strong with my lower body. So it'd be like, okay, I can do like, I don't know. I don't want to make up a number, but like I was doing like 800 pounds on the leg press. And I'm like, all right, sick. I don't want to go beyond that because it's starting to feel dangerous.
Yeah. That's the thing too, is like, I'm kind of the same way. It's like, I want a goal or I want to be able to mark it and see just, because you can go to the gym. I mean, this is boring shit. You can go there though and just like meander around there. It's like you don't remember what you did the time before. You know what I mean? You're just like throwing stuff on, and it's like, okay. And that's how you get hurt, because you don't remember what was what. You're whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, having like goals or something where you can go through and look at and be like, oh, this is what I did last time. Blah blah blah. Then it's like you're always kind of trying to build to get better, but then it's like, okay, well, but what's the ceiling? Like, when is it just like, I don't need to push anymore. Like, this is hard, and that's good, and that's all I need.
Right.
As long as it's consistently hard and it's, keeping you in shape, and that's good. But it's like,
I think that's why I gravitated to running so much more, because like running is like, it's instant feedback. Can I run a mile without stopping?
Yeah.
Like that was like the first goal. And then it was like, all right, can I run 2. No, I can't run 2 without stopping. All right, so I got like 1.25 miles before I stopped. You know what I mean? And then eventually it was, I can run 3.5 miles, but I don't want to do any more than that because I don't have a lot of time.
Right.
And then the 3.5 miles was like, okay, I did that in like 1:12. Okay, can I do that in an hour? And then, you know what I mean? And then eventually it was like, all right, I did 3.5 miles in an hour. Can I get it under an hour? You know what I mean? So like there was like feedback that was akin to like sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I loved it so much. Like it's like golf is the perfect fucking sport. It's like not
the
in like
mental gymnastics that are involved in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not in the fact that you need to be in shape, because you can be a fat piece of shit alcoholic and be an excellent golfer.
You're usually better.
You're better.
It's like bowling too. Same thing. You know?
Right.
You know, bowling and golf is you can be an absolute slob of a human being.
Yeah.
But be pretty fucking good.
But if there was is there a sport that requires actually being athletic that is you versus you? Because other than skateboarding, I can't think of one.
Yeah, no, skateboarding for sure. You know, skateboarding, snowboarding, like that type of thing.
Maybe mountain biking. Mountain biking is kind of you versus you if you're trying to do like time trials, I guess.
Yeah. But. Yeah, because even like motocross, it is you versus you, but it's also there's a bunch of other people on bikes around you too. You know, you're racing them too. You're racing yourself, whatnot. But yeah, there's very few that's really, it's just a single person sport. Diving, you know, swimming. Yeah, I mean, you're racing other people, but
yeah. So I guess swimming's kind of similar to running in that sense, where you can set your time. You set your distance and your time goals, and then it's like, all right, go after that.
Just make sure that yours are better than everyone else's.
Yeah. But that's why I love golf though, because it's so fickle. You know, it's like. Like this too shall pass. It's like, oh, you're doing good.
Yeah,
that's gonna pass.
That's not gonna last.
Yeah,
it's
you're doing bad.
Kind of funny because
it's also gonna last. You know?
a little bit like stand up in the fact that you're only as good as your next shot, and you're only as good as your next joke.
Yeah,
you can you can hit the perfect shot. You can tell a joke that crushes, and then you can tell the next one and just. Crickets. Yeah. You know, I mean, for sure. And you can, so that there's kind of a similarity there with that. But yeah, I've always been definitely more, any sport that I did was, I want it to be my fault. You know? I don't want to rely on a whole team of people, I mean, I don't mind working in a team or anything like that, but it's like, if I can control the outcome and good or bad, I can't blame anyone else. It's no one else's fault for anything but mine, So I've always kind of liked that. So, because I grew up BMX and skateboarding, snowboarding. Same. I didn't golf until I was in my 30s.
Same.
But only because I was too old to do the other stuff. It was harder to do. Like my kid, actually, the buddy that I'm going over to for his birthday today, he built a mini ramp, right?
Hell yeah.
In his pole barn. And I was like, you built it for, your Mo, his kid? And he's like, well, I mean, and for us. I was like, are you out of your goddamn mind? I was like, and this was a couple years ago, so he would have been, 43, 44. I was like, you're going to now get back into skateboarding? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, come on, man, come over and skate. And I was like, dude, I don't know. I don't know.
I love this.
I went and did, whatever. And of course, ate shit a couple times and stuff. But I'm like, man, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, it's tough getting older.
Yeah.
I mean, going back and being like, I'm not old yet. So it's like, how can I know I can still do it. And then you're like, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't.
Have you ever stayed at Holly Campground?
No.
At Holly Campground, there's like a 5-foot half pipe.
At the
old KOA.
Really? So no, I've never been to that. I've gone to the other one that's across from Mount Holly.
Okay,
I've gone to that one.
So
but no, I've never
Holly Campground's got a little skate park, and we go there.
Really?
We go there every year, and I'm the king of the fucking campground because I'm the only adult that's actually riding the skate park with the kids.
I did not know that there was a skate park there. That's crazy.
Dude, there's like a 5-foot half pipe there, and there's like a little like fun box or whatever that's like whatever.
But there's just something there.
But every year we go there, I skate the half pipe, and then like some scooter kids show up and like, whoa! And it's like it makes you feel like
that's right.
And like literally all I'm doing is like doing like fucking barely doing like backside 50-50s on the, you know what I mean? Like, and like, but so me and, our buddy Kenny that we met on the podcast, Kenny, who owns Scroove, it's like a skateboarding apparel shop. Okay. They're transitioning from like snowboarding and skateboarding exclusively to golf also, because it's like, dude, like a lot of the kids that grew up like 90s and early 2000s skateboarders are now golfers.
There's so many more. Like, it's funny because I do like an outing every year. And like the first few years, it was like we would go and you would see, you know, the typical groups were like the old crusty white dudes, you know, that are there. And then you'd see like the guys that are younger that were probably all like college golfers, you know, that take it way too serious, you know, way too serious. And that was kind of the only two groups that you saw out there. And now it's like you see groups of younger, you know, and the radio's fucking blasting, you know, everyone's got a speaker and it's not like this, you know, all the clothing and stuff is like more fun, more trendy, more like an actual style, you know, not just plaid bell bottoms and itchy fucking wool sweaters. It's, you know, it's like normal clothes and cool stuff, good designs. Yeah. And you definitely see like that influence of like skateboarding and you know, all the, I don't want to call it like the extreme sports, but I mean a little bit like that kind of generation of stuff is definitely creeping into golf,
which is so funny because like in the 90s and in the early 2000s, like everybody that was into extreme sports, they were like anti-establishment. They were a punk, you know, like they're anti golf.
Everyone is until everything starts to hurt.
Right.
You're like, dude, fuck government. Fuck the government assistance. Like, ooh, I kind of need that Medicaid now. You know what? Maybe they got some of it right. Dude, you know?
Now I'm getting advertisements for old bones like knee sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, maybe I should put knee sleeves on.
The copper wrapped. Yeah. The maybe I should, magical copper lining.
Maybe I should put on fucking knee sleeves before I go out and skate.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, dude.
We were going to like I was talking about going to Jackie Venson last night, so we stopped at Kenny's shop, Scroove, down in go check out Scroove's shop in Royal Oak. But so we stop at his shop and he's got like a 3-foot mini ramp in his store, and I was like, dude, like my board is in the truck. I want to like get on here and try to do something fun, like try to do like a kickflip fakie or whatever, for like a clip. But I'm like, also, if I eat shit,
I would like to still go to the concert.
It's standing tonight. Room at, you know, like we're going to stand at the fucking concert. I'm not sitting down at a rock concert, you know? So I'm like, dude, if I fuck myself up, it's going to ruin the concert for me. So I didn't do it. I was like, I can't pull the board out, dude. It's not worth it.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's...
he's like, sign a waiver, dude.
He's like, second guess it, for sure.
He's like, sign a waiver. Come on, dude. Let's do a clip. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm not risking it.
Yeah, it's, you know, those thoughts that you're like, that would never even for a split second entered your head in your 20s.
20 years? Yeah, when I was in my 20s?
Never would have ever even, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, I'm going to
because I'm going to a concert. What the
Yeah.
I remember going to, so I have a titanium rod from my knee to my hip, right? And I got metal bolts and shit in it. And I remember when I busted it. And I think
busted the rod or busted the.
But when I busted my leg and I got the rod, and all
right.
that stuff in there, I think maybe it was within a week. I was at Megadeth at Pine Knob, trying to go up the hill. You know, crutches. Like I can't walk. You know, I would like when I went in, the metal detector went off because it was like I had all these staples and shit going up and down my leg, and. I'm like, my God.
You're like, I'm not missing the concert. No, I'll hobble up the fucking hill.
I'm not missing the show where I got the tickets free from a gas station. Absolutely not. I'm fucking going to get there. Yeah. And it's like, wow.
How'd you break your leg?
Dirt bikes.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Fucking. So I grew up riding.
Yeah.
It's the most dangerous sport.
Well, this
was
so we were, I wasn't racing. We were out at a friend's house. He had a track. And we were out there cruising, and a handful of people had their 50s out there, right? And me and two other people maybe had our 250s. And so we're out ripping, we're riding and stuff like that. Well, one of the doubles, you would go in between it to go to the track, to go in and out. And I was coming around a corner, and all of them on the 50s went across, and I didn't, they weren't, so they were supposed to wait, whatever. And so I went over and I pushed the bike away. I bailed out because I didn't want to hit anyone. And I landed, and the bike landed, and it bounced and flipped over and landed right on my leg and snapped my femur in half.
Oh my God.
So it just, the bike just
freak accident
just happened. And snapped it right in half. That was the actually, that wasn't the worst pain. I'll tell you the worst pain about the whole thing. So they come out with, an ambulance, because we're like out in the woods, it's a dirt bike track. We're like away from everything.
Yeah. Is this Holly family track by chance?
No. This was, it was out in Holly, but no, it was just a friend's track.
Right on.
And so ambulance comes out, right? And they get me and they put me on a stretcher. Okay. Well, since my femur, the bone snapped clean right in half, the muscle pulls your leg shorter.
Oh.
So the bone like passes itself, right? So my right leg was like a foot shorter than my left leg. And so they put me in the stretcher, and they put this boot on my foot that legit was hooked to a winch. And they start hand cranking this thing, and it pulls my leg straight, so that it's the same length of the other. This is out in the no medication. I'm not in the ambulance. I'm just on a stretcher in the woods, and they're doing this. And that was the most excruciating pain I've ever. It was
shit! I did not know that was a. Oh my God!
I did not know either. But
like logically it makes sense.
And it's just pulling my leg. Oh, dude.
So what do they got you like belted at the waist or something?
Strapped. Oh, my other leg's strapped, my chest is strapped, my stomach's strapped, so I can't move, because I would have, if my arms or anything would have been free, I would have been punching someone.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that sucks so bad. And then I remember we got to the hospital, and anytime like you get hurt like that, there's fluid, blah, blah, blah. You get like dehydrated. So I'm just so thirsty. Like and plus there's like dust. We're out on a dirt track, so it's like dusty, dirty. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I need water. I need something to drink. And they're like, you're about to have surgery.
Yeah, you
can't have water. And I was like, can't you just like
wet
rinse my mouth, something, And so this fucking nurse comes over, and she's like, this is what I can do for you.
Cotton ball water.
Well, close. It looked like a lollipop.
Yeah.
But it was a square sponge on this little stick, right? And she runs it under the water and gets water on it, and then taps it on the edge to basically knock the fucking water off of it. She's like, here you go. And I'm just scratching it across my tongue like, thanks. This is really hooking me up, that's
the worst.
Yeah.
I got it. But also, doesn't getting hurt and showing up in gear kind of feel dope?
Like, being
at the hospital wearing gear.
It did. It was like, I was really... You guys should have seen what I was fucking doing, No, because then they cut my fucking motocross. I was like, God damn it, this is like $200 fucking motocross.
Everything
pants.
Motocross is so expensive. It's fucking stupid.
I wouldn't let them cut the boots off. The boots they took off.
You have the white Alpine stars back then.
Black. They were black.
Oh, black! You fucking outlaw.
No, they were black. I was all blacked out. Yeah, everything was black. But yeah, oh man, that was.
You're not cutting my fucking boot.
I was like, you're not cutting the boot. Way too expensive. Yeah, the pants I can deal with. I got other ones.
Yeah,
but that sucked.
Dude, I grew up riding, and I got hurt all the fucking time. I mean, all the time. The worst one was that I went to go hit at this track. There was you come out of a berm, and there's like 3 options. You can either triple it, which only like the guys that are fucking absolutely ripping are going to do, or you can double the first 2 and scrub the third, or scrub the first and double the 2 to the 3. And I was racing, and I was like, I'm going to triple this. I had it in my mind the whole time. I'm coming down the hill, and I go into the berm, and you got to carry speed through the berm to be able to triple it. And I hit sand, and I just went, and I was like, nope, I'm tripling it. And I'm wide open on a 450. And I go to triple it, and I come up a fucking mile short. I case the fuck out of it. Case the fuck out of it. My bars bounced into my mouth. Boom! Broke my teeth. That's why my teeth are broke.
All right, yeah.
Fucking bar goes right, and my helmet goes up, and my bar goes right into my mouth. Bam! And I'm just bing, lights out.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad comes over and he's like, I'll buy that for $1. I'll buy that for $1. He has no idea I was completely out. And so he's making jokes about all my plastics and shit being all over the track.
Right.
And I think he like realized what happened. I was just like, I'm done with it. Like after I got cleaned up from that incident, I was like, I'm done with this. This is so like, I'm so fucked. And I just came off of, I landed real, I overshot a jump like a year before that. And I landed all toes and I hurt my ankle a little bit. And then I was skating the half pipe. There's like a 6 or 7 foot half pipe at 0 gravity. I was skating the half pipe and I was working on frontside airs. And the first like legit big try at a frontside air that I was doing, my foot came off the tail and I twisted my ankle and I actually tore my Achilles tendon. But I think what started it was landing real deep on a jump where I landed all toes on my pegs. And like I stretched my fucking, but I think that was the start of it. And then what finished it was the front side air where my foot came off the tail. And so like for like 9 months, I was on crutches and a boot. And I just got back into riding. And then I fucking take a bar to the fucking teeth, break my teeth.
Motocross
fuck the bike up.
Motocross is one of those things where, so my wife, her brother, like her family, they grew up. I mean, he still races, and but he's got kids now, and now both his little kids are racing, and they're doing it. That's what their family thing is, their motocross family, and but it's so funny because motocross is one of those things where it's super community. Like all the people in motocross, they are very tight with each other, and it's so much work. And it's so hard and it's so physical and mental and you have to be in such good shape and it's so expensive, all this stuff. And even if you're like one of the best, you don't make shit. There's little to no payoff. Even, I mean, they have friends that are, pro riders and they're like, oh, we're barely losing scraping money. By.
Losing
like
money
have, her brother-in-law, Earl, dude, he rips, dude, so fast. Anything with a motor, he's unbelievable with, and he owns a paint company, and he's like, I have the, do the paint so that I can pay to race, and racing, he's winning and he's winning money. Yeah. But the money that he wins isn't covering the gas and
this is for the love of the game.
Yeah, tires, all the stuff, And it's funny, like he went through and shattered his wrist. What was it, last year? Something like that. Shattered his wrist, And so he decides, well, it heals a little bit, but he still can't. I don't want to do jumps and I don't want to do all that too aggressive. So I'm going to get a crotch rocket and I'm going to see about, doing GP racing,
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he's like, I'll just, just go out there.
It's probably safer.
Go out there and fuck around.
It's probably safer to do
fucking
GP.
Rips, dude.
Yeah.
He's so good. Right out of the gate, he's just so good. He's just one of those guys. There's just some of those guys where it's like.
It's just, that's how their brain works.
It's just, if it's fuel, throttle, gas and go, they just know how to do it. He's got a trophy truck, that he built, this little Ford Ranger trophy truck. Drives it a couple times a year at the dunes, but he's the guy that everyone's watching at the dunes, because he's just sailing this thing. He's just, it's crazy.
Is he riding at M1 concourse?
I don't know where he cruises he goes all over the place. Yeah. I mean, he'll go down in the winter and he'll, go down to Florida and shit. And
dude, I want to do this so bad because I love riding, but I'm not willing to jump around anymore.
Yeah,
I'm too scared. I'm too scared of getting hurt.
A buddy of mine, he's a year or two younger than me, and probably 4 years ago, he growing up, he always raced. Like 4 years ago, all of a sudden he buys a fucking bike. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to go out and cruise and, whatever. And then he started, the addiction starts, and starts getting into it. And he starts going to races and blah, blah, blah. And he just went to Daytona. What was it? October, maybe? I don't know. Whatever. Went to it down in Florida and raced and like cracked his pelvis. Or something that, you know? And I'm just like, dude, you know, you're like 44.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a slower heel, you know, and he's an electrician, owns his own business, but it's just him. You know, and the doctor's like, oh, you can't do this, this, and that. And he's like, okay, cool. Next day, he's at work.
He's got to work.
He's got to work. You know,
yeah. So it's just like, him.
Man, you know, it's so hard to. You get older, and you don't want to.
Dude, that is one of the scariest things. Like being a pipe fitter, I love my job, and I make good money doing it, and I tell you what, I struggled like a motherfucker for a decade, like as a. You know, I did apartment maintenance. I painted apartments. Right. I did I did Uber and Lyft, and I worked at, you know, I was a park ranger. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do when I was 19
You're
and
just
had a baby.
Trying to find something that
I cut grass at golf courses,
make a living and live off of.
Yeah, and then I struggled like a motherfucker so hard. I've told this story on the podcast a million times, but I used to smoke cigarettes. I would swipe my card at the gas pump, start the pump, and run inside to buy cigarettes so I could get both. Because if it clicked,
clear,
it would. Yeah. So like if the gas pump clicked, it would go through. It would overdraw my account, and I wouldn't have money for cigarettes. So like that was the way. You know what I mean? Like I did ghetto shit like that for like 10 years.
Everyone does in their 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of. You get pretty inventive. On how all the systems work and how to bypass the system.
Yeah.
You're like, listen, is it going to suck that I overdraft this? Yes. But if I overdraft it enough, then the $25 fee I got to pay is worth it.
Because I get to go to work now.
Yeah.
Because I have money I have gas.
Mine usually was like, well, no, I get to be at the bar all night. You know? So
see, I never got into that. I was like, you know, I never got into that until I was like going through my breakup with my ex.
Oh my God.
You know, I was never into it. I was just like, I was always so, I couldn't afford to have vices because I was like feeding a family of 5, I mean, making $30,000.
You had them right out of the gate. Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't even imagine trying to have kids or anything in my 20s. I was so fucking reckless and just having way too much fun. Yeah, there's no way I could. I mean, I had a bunch of silly bullshit jobs. You know, I worked, I mean, the funnest part probably in my 20s was I worked at a radio station for a while. Yeah. And
but you made no money there.
Money.
When you told me that, it blew my mind.
Oh, nothing. Made nothing. But you're this, you know, kind of local celebrity thing. And it's like whenever you go and do these remotes where you're broadcasting from a bar, you know, everyone's excited that you're there.
Yeah.
And it's all like people that listen to the station. So they're like all fans. So people are buying you drinks and you're just fucking having the best time. Plus the bar, typically, if you're doing a remote there, they don't pay you shit, but they usually would give you a tab. So it's like you're not paying for drinks, you know, and you're just partying all the time. And that was fun. I got to see so many concerts and so many shows. But yeah, like you couldn't live off of it. You know, everyone that was at the radio station had 4 jobs there, you know, because that's the only way to scrounge enough. You know, you'd get literally almost like 4 separate checks just to combine to make one reasonable income. Hopefully not to have one other real job, you know. And I never got to that point, even though I was a full-time guy. I still had to have a regular fucking job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, you know, and it's got to be even harder now. I mean,
oh my God, terrestrial radio is dead.
Yeah, that was. So we're talking. This is 2005 through like 2008 or 9, and so podcasts were like
just
starting. I mean, I remember a buddy of mine who was in a band, and he was like, yeah, man, we're going to, this guy's got this thing and it's like a radio show. I don't know. It's in his fucking basement or something. I don't know what it is. He's like, we're just going to go there and get drunk. I don't really know, you know, and who knows if that guy's still doing it. Hopefully he is. Cause if he is, he's probably making a ton of money by now.
Right.
You know, but yeah, they were so few and far between, but even then, like, I kind of saw the writing on the wall, you know, and I think that's why I didn't really fight any harder to try to keep going in radio, was because I was already, and I was a new guy, but I was already seeing the older dudes that had been a jockey for, you know, disc jockey for fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
And they're just getting fired.
Yeah.
They don't even, you know, you're just getting clipped.
You were DJing like a night music show, right?
I was doing I had a 4-hour shift. So that's a long shift on radio. The only one, it was the mornings are always the biggest one. It's always the biggest show. And that's a 4-hour shift. And then I was doing the night show, which was 4 hours.
When the new guy came in and took over the station, you said you guys pretty much didn't get along right away, and you knew that you were going to be.
It wasn't a new guy. So the station manager was an old school radio guy that had gone to college for communications. He had been on the college radio, you know, really like worked his way through the whole system.
Oh, he like paid his dues guy.
Paid his dues.
Yeah.
So I got an internship because I won a contest.
So he resented you for it.
So he didn't like that, you know? And he had this other kid that was kind of interning with him that he was really trying to kind of push.
Okay.
And everyone else wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no one else was really trying to help or whatever. So yeah, he just kind of had this thing out for me. I don't know. Or just not that maybe that he had it out for me, but he wasn't willing to do anything like above and beyond what he absolutely had to. So it was like, if he could drag his feet for me to get, you know, actually on salary like I should have been, you know, or because at that point, you know, if you were on the radio Monday through Friday and you had a regular shift and you were a jockey, you got a salary, like a guaranteed paycheck, and you got benefits. You got like health insurance and stuff, you know? I'm 25. I'm like, yeah, I fucking need that, you know? I just spent, you know, $50,000 on this titanium leg that I got now. Like, it really would be real nice if I had some health insurance. And, but he just kept, you know, dragging it out. Yeah. And I don't think he liked what I did, because even then, which is funny to think about this now, but even then I was doing bits like in between the stuff, you know? I didn't want to just sit there and just play songs. Another one, crazy bitch from fucking, you know.
Right.
So I would go, so I'd go through and I would do like bits, and I would let people call, and I would take calls on live on the air, and I would just make fun of the people, you know, and all this stuff. And I, in a sense, I think that's kind of what they wanted, but I don't know if he liked the way I was doing it, you know, because usually it's much more of a planned thing where you would take in calls and you would record them, and, you know, you would be able to edit it, and you'd be able to do all this stuff in between the songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to do all that work.
Let's do it live.
I'm just doing it live because you had a dump button.
Yeah.
So it's like you had this, like it was like a 5 or 6 second delay button you could hit, you know? So it's like, yeah, if someone swore, did whatever, I could just hit the dump button, no big deal. And you just keep talking and it's whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that big of a deal. But he didn't.
Did you ever think about doing your own thing after that ended?
What's funny, and I try not to like really think about it at now. But when I was at the radio station in Grand Blanc, there used to be a comedy club. I'd never gone there. And the the guys that did the morning show, the guys that I got the internship with, Eric and Carson, they were like the big deal at the time. And Eric had done stand-up. And he's like, hey, if you ever want to go, you know, because I had said, God, you know, I'd love to try to, I just don't know if I can do it, blah, blah, blah. And he said, if you ever want to go, like, I'll go with you. We'll go try to do it or whatever. And just for whatever, you know, just whatever. It just never panned out. And now I think about that and I'm like,
you're like, oh, I could have had
fucking idiot.
You could have had 15 more years.
I'd be at the Comedy Cellar right now, and I'd be fucking no. But I do think about it. It's like I wonder what it'd be like to have that the life of 20 and kind of being able to push everything else away and be like, well, I'm just gonna like just zero focus on it and nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Who knows? Good, bad, or different. I mean, you never know. You just think about what if. I mean, it doesn't matter. But there was I never thought about like doing like a podcast after that. Well, that's not true. I have thought about it, and I've had even tried one, but I tried doing one way before I ever did comedy or anything. It was more of like a business kind of thing, because I used to own 2 businesses, and so I was like going through listening to all these, fucking business guru marketing, all this shit, So I tried to do something like that, and it ended up being me making fun of you know what I mean? Like I couldn't even do that serious, you know? And I did it for a little bit, and then I was like, no one's fucking listening to this. Like, what am I fucking doing? So I didn't continue with it. But.
So you were doing like a Dave Ramsey thing? Like a...
Well, it was, so I had a screen printing business, and so, it was kind of like a screen printing stuff, and like the marketing aspect of it. Because at the time there was just this cool like transition of like the old school like screen printers that had these big like factory businesses, and they did everything. They had a sales guy that would go out and do calls, and it was very, come in and look at the catalog and blah, blah, blah. And then you had all these new guys that were, we got these little shops and everything's graffitied, and we take an hour and a half out each day for a skate break for everyone. And we're doing like, social media, and it looked so fun, and it was this little club of, they're making money, but it wasn't really about the money. They're making art, they got awesome graphic designers, and it was just like this cool business. So that's what I wanted, so it was kind of a thing that was like marketing, like kind of more in that realm, and talking about different stuff that people were doing and shit. But then COVID hit, and that just wiped everything out.
Oh yeah, COVID killed all of the mom and pop shops.
Yeah, it was. I had my big thing at the time is I got in with this company, so I had contracts to do sororities and fraternities like across the country, and it was this company that had all of them, and they would just send me the orders. I would print them, send them out, whatever. But that was like my main thing, and then I would also, I was doing, some band stuff and like some festivals, and, I'd get farmers market, all these like public events, and education and schools and all the things that for a year and a half they stopped having.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's
what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Because then every screen printer that's around, well, we're just going to the established businesses that are still necessity, essential workers, I think is what they called it, or whatever. They didn't shut those down, so they're the only ones that still need stuff. Well, everyone's trying to sell it to them, so it's like it just got so brutal, and had to close the doors, and that was a wrap, which sucks, because I liked doing that. It was very fun. You could just sit and listen to music and pods and comedy all day long, and just make artwork on shirts. It was awesome. It was super fun. But
do you still have equipment and stuff? Like
I've got some. Yeah. I've got some. And I've thought about getting another press and stuff, mostly just like, well, I can just make my own merch.
Right.
I don't need anything big to make like some t-shirts and some, hats and fucking koozies and stuff like that. I could do that in my, I got a pole barn, so it's like I can do it in there.
Yeah.
And then I'm not worried, got extra money I could maybe make, trying to do shows and sell merch. Because I have done some shows where they're like, oh, whatever merch, set up a table if you got merch. I'm like, I've never had anything, so I've never tried selling anything.
We just started to try to do merch, and I was like, I don't want to spend like $11 a t-shirt, you know what I mean? And like, which isn't that much, but it's also like, dude, when the minimum orders is like 100, you're like, dude,
I'll tell you some companies where you can get them for like $375.
Okay. Yeah.
They're like single color, two color.
Yeah, that's all I want. Because I bought a stencil, and I was like, I'll just do it with bleach and just see how that turns out. And like a handful of them turned out cool, but I was like, let me try to do like a design with the bleach on the whole t-shirt, and then do the stencil of the logo. And
well, what's funny is like Sam Talent, you know who Sam Talent is. So he makes a bunch of his own merch. He's probably getting to the point now to where he's going to have someone else do it, because he's get pretty big. But
yeah,
he would make, forever he was making all of his own merch. And he would, a big thing he would do is he would do shirts, but he would do it with like rubber stamps, and he'd carve out the big piece of rubber, and then he would just roll the ink on the rubber and like stamp it onto the shirt.
Yeah.
But so every shirt was a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Like
it wasn't a perfect process. So super like folksy art kind of stuff. And he's done like posters and stuff like that too. He's done a bunch of stuff like that, which is super cool. You know, I would assume that it's probably getting hard for him though to be able to keep doing that.
He's a household. He's damn near a house. He's definitely a household name for guys that are comedy guys.
Yeah. Comedy people know definitely who he is, and book people too. He's got his second book coming out.
Yeah.
But because I ordered a sweatshirt, and so it was cool. It was the wrong size, the wrong color. It was like, it was a sweatshirt. I didn't order a sweatshirt. So I got the sweatshirt, and it had an image on it. But yeah,
but like everything else was not right.
The sizes were different. The colors was off.
It's hilarious.
But, whatever. I mean, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's still cool. Whatever. I just like the design of the print on there anyway. But, yeah, I don't know. So I would like to go back and try to make my own stuff. It'd be fun. It's just printing shirts is just fun. It's art, another thing to do that's artistic,
That is the being able to like listen to music, listen to podcasts and just kind of get in the zone. I used to be able to do that as a maintenance guy. I used to just be able to throw in headphones, listen to a podcast or a book or music or whatever, and just get in the zone and just get through my work orders.
Yep.
For the day, and time would go by instantaneously, but like I enjoyed all of it. It's so different being a pipe fitter on like these huge industrial jobs where it's like, no, you can't wear headphones. You have a partner. You're problem solving all day, and the problems you're solving are difficult as fuck.
Yeah.
The only time I get even a inkling of how I used to enjoy my work day is if I'm at a fab shop and I'm welding all day, then I can be like, all right, I'm popping headphones in, and I can just weld pipe all day on a positioner, and I get to enjoy this shit out of this book or this podcast or whatever.
I mean, not dealing with, like, that was the great thing is, doing the shirts and stuff. It's like, really the customers aren't gonna complain unless I screwed something up. It's pretty easy to make them happy. They tell you what they want, you make it, you give it to them, boom, pretty done. So, and it's, again, it's that thing where there's no team that I'm worried about. I just get to sit in there in this environment that I created. It was all, I had my whole print room was all graffiti pictured all on the inside, and I'm listening to all my own stuff, and you just get in your own head. It's like, cool, this is my little world, and I get to make money off this little world,
right?
And then
that's the fucking dream here, just being surrounded by shit that I love, and then like doing what I want to do.
You don't hate being in the room,
not at all.
Like, I love it. I made the room. This is all the stuff I want in here, so it's like cool. It's comfortable,
right?
Yeah. And it's fun. So I miss that. I'd like to go back to that. But now it's like, again, the comedy's kind of taken over. And it's like, I can deal with the other job that I don't like as long as I get to go out and, try to be on stage. And if it leads to something else, that'd be fucking awesome, but, whatever happens.
So I tell you what, my like creative brain, since I've been writing comedy and stuff, like now my brain is firing in all kinds of ways that I forgot that it used to.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, dude, I know so many creative people. We should do a fucking show. Like we should create a show and just do it on YouTube or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I know 100 motherfuckers who are hilarious and would be probably good actors, or they could contribute in some kind of way, shape, or.
It's funny.
I'm like, I want to do something beyond just mics.
So
you know what I mean?
2 weekends ago, we don't got to get into all this. Maybe this will be for next time.
Okay.
But I ended up shooting this independent movie.
Oh, nice.
And I have never done any acting at all, and it was another comic who reached out and was like, hey, I'm trying to put this thing together. We've got a couple small parts that we're trying to fill, and I don't know if you're even interested, blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll try. And he's like, all right, cool. He's like, here, I'm going to send you some lines, and me and the, assistant director will call you in a couple hours and just kind of do a Zoom thing. Like, okay, fine. So they call and read these lines. They're like, okay, yeah, it was good. They're like, we want to give you a different character. I was like, okay. And they're like, here's the lines, go through them. Read these lines. They're like, okay, we would like you to do that part. I'm like, okay, that's cool. They're like, all right, so are you interested in it? I'm like, yeah, I guess. But I don't give a shit. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, cool. It's the lead role of the movie. And I'm like, hold on. I was like, I have not done this. And like, no, it was good. The way you read it, blah, 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 blah. So like, I ended up doing this thing, and it was a crazy process, and it was wild. But yeah, it's like that stuff that like.
Are you allowed to say anything about it? Like
I don't know
who is directing it, or
I'm not going to.
Okay, sure.
For now,
yeah, no worries. Dude, that's fucking awesome though. But
yeah, it was cool.
I'm saying, though.
You don't know. You don't know what stand-up's going to kind of come out of it, because that's the only thing he knows me from. Is seeing him at different shows or mics or whatever.
Yeah,
and but yeah, it's just
it's
whatever.
See, this is what I'm saying is like I was like, I'm like writing a bit about. I've been working on this bit for a while, but like I'm writing a bit about how when I was a teenager, I had all these creative outlets where I felt like I had aligned myself with like what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
I was like writing stand up. I was writing movies. I was like writing scripts. I was making skateboarding videos. Me and my buddies had a skateboarding brand that we were trying to get off the ground.
It's amazing how far your brain can go without the restraint of responsibility.
No shit. Yeah.
I mean, your brain just expands into all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, what can we do? We can do all of it.
Right. And I was doing all of it, and now that, and I tell you what, like I don't want to blame my ex, because like, just because our relationship was bad doesn't mean that she stopped me from doing anything.
Right.
But being in a bad place and being broke is not a place to like foster creativity.
It's very hard. It's very hard. Sometimes it can, but it's definitely not the healthiest creativity.
Right.
And it's not always going to be creative in a beneficial way.
No, God, no.
It might be something to just kind of like, okay, you're just letting some air out of the pressure tank, but you're not really like,
creating something for good. It was like, I need to create something so I don't blow up.
Right. So I don't burn the house down. Yeah. It's more of just,
but
just a pressure cooker.
But man, there's a few different things that I'm working on, and I don't know if doing a show is even a feasible thing. Getting comics to even show up to do a podcast is a motherfucker.
I will say this: the shoot, the shoot for this little independent thing, the day that we were doing the first day shoot, 3 comics didn't show up. So and some things had to get changed around and blah blah blah. So it's it's a lot that goes into it, and seeing like what all went into that, you can definitely do it. You can do it on little to no budget, and they really went through and and put this thing together. And just me, like I was like, okay, I see how some of this works. I see how some things could have been done a little bit better or more organized, but it's that, I mean, there's a lot to it, but you can do it. I mean, there's you don't have to have this huge, crazy cinematic budget for what,
right.
All
for
this
a YouTube
stuff.
Released movie.
Yeah. I mean, you can, phones, I mean, you can get such good footage on cameras are so more inexpensive.
It's so accessible.
It's so much easier to get.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even you can go through and you can rent the stuff for, whatever days you need,
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it's crazy what you end up going through. But yeah, if you got stuff that you're at, just make it. Make it,
Yeah.
You go through the process. If it doesn't work out, okay, well, this worked and that didn't work. So, all right, let's go back with this worked. We'll do it on the next one, just whatever.
Dude, we were talking about, me and my buddy Devin were talking about doing because Scroove owned by Kenny, is transitioning from like just snowboarding and skateboarding to golf. We were like, dude, we should do like a fucking Good Times Doodle Salad versus Scroove like golf round and make it a YouTube video. Absolutely. Where we're all mic'd up and shit.
Yeah. Talking trash to each other the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like I emailed Kenny about it and like we're like, he responded. I haven't responded to him yet. Like, so we haven't really talked about it, but I'm like, we got to do this. Like, it's like the sport that all of us are obsessed with right now. I'm like, we have to do this, but the stakes, we haven't figured out the stakes, but this was the thing though, is for so long I was surrounded by people who are just like, oh, just trying to get through the week. Yeah. But like now being in this world, I'm like, oh, I'm surrounded by like creative people who actually like enjoy making shit and like enjoy life. Yeah. So I'm like, it's contagious, it's contagious to be in this world of creative people that are like, no, I'm not going to just like settle into my 9 to 5. Like we're going to do wild shit while we have time and energy.
Yeah. If you got ideas and you got that spark of whatever creativity and inspiration and stuff, it's like, why not do it?
Yeah, why not?
Well, I mean, there's if it's good, it's good. If it's not, whatever. It's just the experience of going through and making it, and doing it.
Right,
it's fun. So.
Yeah, and we're we're in a time where everything is so accessible. Like, I mean, fucking 50 years ago, no one is making a fucking film on the whim.
Anyone who wants to be their own movie studio can be their own movie
with
studio.
An iPhone and a fucking and a cheap wireless mic from Amazon. Like you there you go, you're good to go. You can make a movie.
There's nothing really stopping anyone from making anything or being able to distribute it. I mean, all the channels, there's so many channels that are free to go through and put it out. It's like you can put anything out, in multiple places. So, there's not really excuses. It's just then you're just lazy. If you don't do it, it's just because you don't really want to do it. Then,
right. Right.
If you want to put it out.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is I'm trying to separate myself from dreamers and just like start leaning into the community of people that are actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creating, not just consuming.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. Like once you actually start doing stuff, it's amazing how many people just have these zero accountability excuses for why they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really used to love this, but ever since, and you're like, I don't like. Okay. You sound like the guy who like blew his knee out in high school. Otherwise, he would have been in the NFL. Like, I don't want to.
Al Bundy poke high, dude. Would have made it. Would have made it. Would have been there.
Right.
Coach would have put me in.
Right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're surrounded by this community of psychopaths that are like so obsessed with stand-up. But like I'll drive fucking 50 miles to do a mic and I'll run into you. And I'm like, oh yeah, of course you're fucking here. Like, because
it's wild. It's a wild group of people. It's and some of them are, it's funny too, because like some of them are people that they like doing stand up, but that's really not it's not their main focus. It's just one part of getting out the creativity, you know? And I know, there's people that run art studios and there's people that are painters and there's people that, do all this other stuff. And it's like, it's just a slice of the whole pie to them, but you never know what that might lead you into.
Right.
They're, hey, you want to come do this thing? It's like, I've never done it. Screw it. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Imagine if, like there's definitely people that are haters of people like that, like a Mark Maron type person is like, oh, you should be in love with just this. But I tell you what, like, what if Judd Apatow never started directing movies? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Are you kidding me? Like,
and now he's come back around. Now he's come back around to doing stand up again, and he's still doing the other stuff. So it's like, there's room for all of it. I mean, it's just whatever you're,
And speaking of Mark Maron, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
As much as he's a douche.
Yeah.
I really like him in Stick.
Yeah.
That series is excellent.
It is good. It is. He was good in Glow.
Yeah.
He's good in that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
But yeah, it's and then you've got, people like Attell who could easily go and sell out theaters and do theaters. Nope. I'm a club comic. I'd rather do 6 shows.
A 4 p.m. show.
I'd rather do Saturday. 6 shows at the Comedy Castle than go to the Royal Oak Music Theater and do one show and sell the same amount of tickets.
Right.
You know? But that's why he's the best. He's doing 6 times the shows. He's getting 6 times the work, you know, going out there. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Wild variation of people, man.
I love it.
It's crazy.
Dude, on that note, let's wrap this sucker up. We're like 2 hours in, man. It's a time warp.
It is. You forget what's going on in here. My wife's like, how long are you going to be there? I was like, 20 minutes tops. It's like, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours. I have no idea. I was like, I'm going to go there, and when I'm back is when I'll be back. I have no clue.
I'm trying to be a little more like consistent with the time.
Yeah.
Because like I did one that was like an hour, and then I did like with Kate, we did like 3 hours and 45 minutes, and we were gonna keep going, but Paige was like she was like starting to act like the kid was like, come on. Yeah.
Her legs are getting numb sitting in the chair. Yeah.
Dude, she real quick, we're gonna do the Michigan goodbye, which I always do, but Paige, me and Kate were talking. Paige like gets up, she has to go pee because we're like 3 hours in. She goes to the bathroom, she comes back. Me and Kate are both crying when she gets back. She's like, "What the fuck happened?"
Yeah, what is going on in here?
Which is the funniest thing to me because we were talking about my son and his strained relationship with his mom, and like whatever we started talking about some shit that had happened with my son. And like, so like Kate started getting emotional, like hearing me talk about like the shit that my son has gone through. And then I started getting emotional because she was getting emotional. So we're both, I'm like, this is turning into a Bert Kreischer podcast. Like we're both fucking crying.
Just weeping, sobbing.
Paige just comes in. She's like, what the fuck is happening here?
That's awesome. That's so funny.
Oh, dude, so fucking good. But on that note, dude, I gotta stick to like, I don't want to put like a time limit. But we're not doing 4-hour podcasts anymore.
An hour to almost 4 is a wild span. I mean, it's like hour to hour and a half or hour and a half to 2. I mean, it's, you give a little leeway, but when you got a 3-hour stretch in between, it's a pretty serious,
very
serious gap, man.
Well, and then we were also talking about doing these, like I think I'm going to start doing like quickie versions of the show. So like if me and you do 2 hours, then I'll like go in and find like what are the main things we talk about and make like a half-hour long version of the episode.
Yeah.
So that's an idea I'm flirting with because it might be more palatable for people. Like I'm not going to sit and listen to Matt and Garrett talk for fucking 2 hours.
Right.
But I will listen to them on my drive to work.
Yeah.
So like let me
throw on
this
highlight reel of whatever.
Yeah. So I might start doing that, but it also is going to double the amount of editing that I do. So that's why I'm like, ooh, maybe I won't. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get some fucking kid off of Fiverr to do it.
How do you construct the time? You know,
I need to hire an employee, man.
Less time, more time, your time, their time.
Right.
It's all just a puzzle piece, man.
Yeah.
Puzzle pieces.
I gotta hire
Tetris.
somebody. Yeah, right.
You know, you're just trying to make it all fit and work.
Right.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be the guy who's like, I don't have enough time because I used to sit around and just fuck off all day after work.
God, weren't those the greatest days?
I was just like,
you know what? Today seems like the kind of day I need a 3-hour nap.
Right.
And then when I get up, I'm going to go to bed.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Those were good times.
Now if I get to go to bed before like 10 o'clock, I'm like, this is a great day.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I'm getting a full 5 hours. This is amazing.
Right. I get up at 5 every night, and getting up at 5 is late for me now. I get, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I get to sleep until 5 because I start at 7 now, which I'm normally starting at 6 a.m. an hour away from home.
Yeah.
So like, this is
it's brutal.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm doing great right now. I'm checking my Fitbit every morning, going like, how would I get 7 hours? Holy shit,
oh, man,
I'm gonna feel amazing today.
Boy, am I refreshed. Yeah.
Normally I get 4 hours, and I'm like, all right, I need 2 monsters today.
Yeah, you're waking up with anxiety sweats because you're already thinking about work. You're like, all right, cool. Yeah, let's go.
Dude, fuck yeah. Well, dude, thanks for coming out.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me back on.
Yeah, of course.
Always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, on that note,
peace. Not survival. It's finding purpose in what you love.
I'm pumped to be branching out and being like, hey, we're going to sit down and have a couple-hour podcast.
Is it? Is it, dude? Jesus Christ. We just like talked for 5 minutes. I'm like, is it though? I've always been inspired by this shit.
Yeah. Dude, that pizza was so greasy.
It was disgusting.
It was not disgusting.
Disgusting.